You actually built the sets.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. We built that whole cul-de-sac. The dream houses are like several stories high. Everything's like hand-painted, all the backdrops hand-painted. We made all of Barbie Land in miniature, filmed the miniatures. Yeah, everything was very tactile, and the transportation sequence, all that. It's like practical and like a diorama, and there's like, you know, literally people like holding a rod with a butterfly dangling off it, and you know, everything was just, the handmade quality of it was so intrinsic to the movie anyway, because it's meant to be a toyetic world. It's meant to be toys, and you should feel like you could reach in and grab it all.
But it does make a difference, I think. I mean, I don't know if the audience knows on a kind of a conscious level, but I really believe that they experience on a subliminal level that this is happening in camera.
I agree, and I know Chris Nolan definitely lives by the same rules of like everything's in camera, everything's practical, and I think what CGI can do, what VFX can do, is like incredible, and as a tool to complement work, it's amazing. But when it's relied on too heavily, there's something about that like infinite quality to like looking at something that's just like could go on forever, where you, I don't know, I find I get detached. I'm kind of like, something in me can sense that it's not real, and so I don't really care. I don't really care if that thing explodes or that building falls down, because it's not real. Like, you just know when it's not real.
Yeah, I think we do now. I think definitely we're kind of inured to it at this stage. On Oppenheimer, there was no set builds. It was all real locations. Every single location was the actual place. A lot of it was like Oppenheimer's house, where we shot in New Mexico, was actually where he lived. Yeah, with Kitty. So when myself and Emily were filming in there, you know.
How good's Emily?
She is astonishing.
I love her
in the movie.
so much.
I think there's just like, she can do anything, Emily. It's kind of.
I would watch her in anything. I don't need I don't need a log line. I don't need a title. If I see she's in it, I'm like, I'm in. I'm going to love it. She's so charming.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah. But yeah, so you shot in New Mexico. Where else?
Yeah, and I think you can feel the kind of, this sounds kind of like cliche or hokey or something, but I feel like you can feel the vibrations in the room. I feel like they transfer to the character. I feel like we then have an extra level of connection or respect for the environment or for the characters, particularly if they're real life characters that actually live there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we shot in Oppenheimer's office in Princeton, which was right next to Einstein's office in the real location. And there was many of those instances where you feel, you kind of, you know, it's goosebumps, you know? Like, I'm not a superstitious person or anything like that, but
No, you feel the vibes.
You feel it.
Yeah.
Chris wanted that. Yeah. And for example, the last sequence in the movie, you know, well, they flash backwards and forwards to it, but you know, the whole big hearing at the end, that was in this horrible, shitty, little bureaucratic, tiny room somewhere outside of LA. And it was really hot, and we were all of us stuffed into this room with this huge IMAX camera. You know, we could have easily built that in a big stage and pulled away the walls. But Chris wanted it to feel like claustrophobic, you know, sort of awful feeling that you would have had in one of those rooms. And they deliberately wanted to put him in a room like that to make him feel like he was worthless and that it was kind of meaningless and to demean him. Wow. And it worked.